Breaking news out of New York, where former U.S. President Donald Trump has been indicted by a grand jury. This makes him the first American president, current or former, to face criminal charges. The case centers around a hush money payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels during Trump's 2016 campaign. Global's Washington bureau chief Jackson Proskow has the latest. Moving to Canada, where the RCMP is under fire for its response to the 2020 shooting rampage in Nova Scotia. The Mass Casualty Commission has released its final report into the worst mass shooting in Canadian history, condemning the RCMP on several levels for a lack of leadership and failure to warn the community of the danger. Over 13 hours, a gunman killed 22 people across Nova Scotia, including a pregnant mother. The report includes 130 recommendations in the 3,000-page document. Mike Armstrong has more. In other news, the Catholic Church has made a major announcement, one that some Indigenous leaders are welcoming. The Vatican has repudiated the colonial-era documents that justified the seizure of indigenous lands, known as the Doctrine of Discovery. In a statement, the Vatican asked for a pardon for the papal decrees that did not adequately reflect equal dignity and rights of indigenous peoples. Indigenous groups have been calling for the doctrine to be rescinded for decades. Heather Yorex West has more. Outside the Vatican, Pope Francis is said to be improving after being admitted to a Rome hospital for a respiratory infection. At 86 years old, the pontiff has indicated in the past that he may step down if he's no longer able to fill his duties, so his health may be more closely watched than any other pope in history. Redmond Shannon reports. In Tel Aviv, it was a night of protest as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu pushed pause on a judicial reform plan. Demonstrators gathered outside the U.S. Embassy to praise American President Joe Biden's criticism of the proposal, but hundreds rallied in support of changes, destroying property and making veiled threats even against our own team. All of it shows the deep divide between left and right among Israelis. Crystal Gumansingh reports. Finally, the federal budget proposes amending the Food and Drug Act to enable regulators to take stronger action when health or safety issues are identified in natural products. Global's Catherine Ward has more on this important development. That's it for tonight's Global National. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.